Father spoke to me today, and he urged me to speak on a topic that's at hand today. The last time we spoke on the topic of my Father's business. And our Heavenly Father spoke to me today concerning those words, and he encouraged me to speak on toward the encouragement of the brethren. His word has been given a title, and the title is Glory of My Father. Did you hear that? Glory of my Father. I didn't quite understand what that meant until I was in the shower. Now just humming a melody, and the Father talked with me. And he said to me, I need you to speak now. I had to get out and had to follow instructions. Hear the heart of my Father concerning his word, glory of my Father. There was a time that was recorded of Jesus and his disciples. It was written there for our learning. It was an occurrence that was with purpose. It was the place where we need to understand the why behind every answer. There's a why. For some time now, the world has been asking why. Why all the hurt? Why all the killings and the murders and the mean people? Why? Disasters. There is an answer. It's the glory of my Father. You see, in the book of St. John, chapter 9, verses 2 and 3, it speaks of a time when Jesus' disciples asked him a question. Said, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? It was a situation there that was seemingly unfair. We can ask that question in many occurrences in our lives. What happened? How come I got the bad end of a stick? I didn't get the parents to teach me. I didn't get the opportunities. I went to college. What happened to me when I got kidnapped and I'm stuck in somebody's trunk and some ugly men raped the young girl? Or there was an earthquake and many people died? Jesus answered this question. Jesus answered and said, neither has this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Let me help you see it clearer. There was a man who was anointed to bear the presence of a son to reveal the glory of the Heavenly Father. And he told another man about this man and said, listen, I need you to talk to him. It was John. No, it wasn't John. What's his name? What's that man's name? It's not about a name. I'm not really caught up in names, but it was Paul. He was Saul then. And what happened is that the Father spoke to another man, and Ananias said, listen, man, this is going to be a brother coming to you. I need you to teach him some things. Then when he told Ananias his name, Ananias says, are you sure? Him? He's a murderous man. And the Father said something to explain this word today, to give you the understanding of the why. He said, this man is a chosen vessel unto me. I must show him what things he must suffer for my sake. For some time I wrestled with that statement when I was younger. Suffer? That's not what it teaches in church. It says if you're anointed, you have things. If you're blessed, you have goodness in your life, not suffering. And nobody talked about it very much. The Heavenly Father said, he's a chosen vessel to me, and I'm going to show him what things he's going to suffer. And nobody talked about that in the church building. Why suffer? Oh, we very lawfully read over the words when Jesus says, arm yourself likewise. You shall suffer as I suffer. We read over that very lightly, right? You rather have the man-made blessing. You know, have the things in the cars. You're blessed, man. You got plenty of money. That type of nonsense. But we know that it's always a facade because you may have the money, but you don't have the peace, right? Your child is on drugs, right? Your daughter is going out. She wants to be a man, right? Or she's going out with some men on the streets, right? Money can't stop that, can it? You take your money and give it to the men on the streets. So don't come with the facade of, I got money. Don't do that. You don't have nothing at all without the peace. Suffering is the only way to reveal the glory of the Heavenly Father. It's from the very beginning. Why did Adam make a bad choice? Why was he given a choice? The entire scene was set to introduce the presence of the Father. Everything about Jesus Christ was for to introduce the presence of the Heavenly Father. There was no Father on the scene until Jesus came. There was gods. So we got a God, we make a statue. There's a God there. The God in the tree, God in the fire. But it became personal. But Jesus demonstrated a higher ability. And people says, who is this? And he wouldn't take the credit. Wait a minute. You got to be a special man. You got to be a God. Oh, no. He wouldn't do that. He kept saying, this is a Father. This is why it's happening. This is why you're being healed in the flesh. This is why you're being fed. And you see the way that shows up out of no way is to let you know. You thought it was for your flesh? Yeah, man, it wouldn't make me feel good, make me be successful. No. It was for your soul to know that there's a Father who wants reverence. He wants to be acknowledged as a Father. Isn't that not the heart of every father? Isn't that not the heart of every husband with his wife? To have that reverence? Oh, that's my husband, man. I got to ask him about this. Or the children. Yeah, what do you think about this? I'm going with my dad thinks because he's out for my best interest. I don't know you, man. Our Heavenly Father is about His glory. This is the work of sons of God. Promoting the glory of the Heavenly Father. That's it. Make yourself of no reputation. Are you getting it now? I need you to be equal. Have the mind. But don't you take the glory. Don't say, well, my name is Pastor Henry Blue. Don't you do that. But you won't take the glory, don't you? Are you getting the glory now? He said, no man's going to stand before me and boast, man. It's not going to happen. Well, I did it. What did you do again? Well, I went to college, man, and I made some decisions, and I did exercises. You don't quite understand, do you? What is it? Everything that you are was given to you. Not by nothing that you've done. You crazy? I went to school and I learned. You don't have the mind to learn without the Father. Are you getting it? He is the mind behind it all. This is what Jesus knew when he was encountered with Pilate. Hey, man, you better tell me something, man. I have a right to kill you. Hold on, man. Hold on. That mind right there is from my Father. And you're going to do what he tells you to do. So if that's what you're going to do, it's going to be what's going to be. It's the same attitude he had with Judas. Judas, do what you got to do, man. It's not a game. Because whatever you do is going to promote the glory of the Father. But it's the Son involved. The hatred, the mean actions, the ugly looks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Because you'll still see the stand. You'll still see the peace. And you'll be saying, there must be a God. Absolutely there is. This is what happened to the 3 Hebrew boys. We're going to put you in the fire, man. It's going to be hot. They never said that it was not hot. It never said that it did not hurt. But they went through it. And they came out okay. As you came out okay. Had some hurtful experiences, haven't you? I'm sure you have. You had some very fearful death experiences, haven't you? Yes, you have. Father knows everything. They could have killed you there when they raped you. But they did they? You could have been bitter when you were abused mentally. But you didn't stay there, did you? You shook it off, didn't you? Why? Because of who you believe in. I don't need you to get stuck under Jesus or any other identity of flesh. I need you to know that there's a Father involved here. And everything you see, wars, rumors of wars, can you see them now? The pestilences, can you see them? Can you see the men loving women and the women loving women? Can you see the women loving women and burning and the men loving men and burning? Can you see it? It's all written. Why was it so? That you may know that there must be a Father somewhere, man, because this stuff is coming to pass as it's written. This is all about. You're not done seeing yet. Because now it's time for the mighty man. What does that look like? It's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. People can't stand it. We need to speak the truth about the matter. Tell me a lie. No, it's the truth. Doesn't matter. Now you know. You can look at any observation now and know. Why are all the people dying? Because you're going to be soon dead too in the flesh. I told you as a twinkling of an eye. Do you think those people sleeping in their beds when the earthquake took place in Turkey knew that was going to be their last night sleeping in the flesh? I saw a scene there on TV, and there was a man sitting beside a big boulder. And the boulder was on a mattress. You could see the mattress there. And the mattress had a little girl's arm sticking from beneath the boulder, where the boulder had crushed her in her sleep. And my heart was broken. And you would say, how does the Father get glory from this scene? Let me tell you how we close. You have one of two identities to live in. You can live in your flesh, in the mind of your flesh, and you'll see everything of the flesh. That flesh has died. That flesh is hurting. That flesh is not here anymore. Like one man I saw in the news, he had some depression, and he took his daughter and he threw her over the bridge here in Tampa, Florida. Threw over the bridge. Said, what the hell? And I had to wrestle with that. It was a little girl. Father said, was it? How are you looking? He said, if I'm the breath of life, you're going to call what you see life? And this is what Jesus proved in the very end when he said it's finished. He did not acknowledge his flesh as life. This is why he didn't say a mumbling word for the defense of his flesh. Come on, stop beating me. You're hurting me. It hurts. I'm sorry. Didn't do that. He took the pain. There was pain. I feel pain today at times. But it's not going to be crying about it. Because everything happens now to get you into the mind of the flesh. And you got to choose. Like losing a loved one, and you sit there crying, and then you recognize that body is not my loved one. Like I had to counsel my wife when her father passed. And she was broken, but she was strong at the same time. Two different fights were going on. I miss my dad, but I know he's not here in this flesh. My dad is a thought. He's with me all the time. He's a spirit. And once you understand that, death loses its sting. My daughter did not die because my daughter is a spirit. I see it clearly now. I have two daughters. One, biological daughters this, and one obeys me as a daughter. The other does not. So which one is the daughter? Do I have two or one? One. Because I can not have a wife. It's not my wife. I can't say, wife, you're mine forever. I don't own a wife. That's a choice of another identity. And she can change her mind. And you think she'll be my wife till she changes her mind? Absolutely not. This is how our Heavenly Father felt about Adam. Good luck, man. My son is not a flesh. He's a spirit. And he'll show up. He showed up in Jesus. And he's showing up now around the world. I don't need to say it. It'd be revealed. And me and my wife, we chuckle with close about one truth that we came to. We were talking about the young brother who was speaking to the father and said, I'm all by myself, there's nobody but me. And the father says he has 7,000, honey. Is it 70,000 or 7,000? He said, I have 7,000, I have that bow the knee to bow. That bow the knee to the world. Then we chuckled about that and said, 7,000? Is that your reply, Father? I mean that you got one person in every continent, in every state. You know how many people are on this earth, and you only have 7,000? There's probably only one in the state of Florida. And as big as the world is, Father, that's what you want to reply? He says, many will say, Lord, Lord. And he will say to the many, I never knew. Because you chose to live the flesh. You chose to see with the eyes of death. But as for me and my house, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, there's no fear, because I know that I'm not of that identity. Or it will be tried. And it has been tried. It's being tried. But understand this. It's only going to be one glory. And it's not going to be yours. Our Father says every knee will bow. Sooner or later, that flesh is going back to the ground. And you don't know how soon it's going to be, because there's people now entertaining pushing buttons like an atomic bomb. And our family has had the opportunity to watch a movie about the truth of the matter. Interesting movie. People saw the bomb happen. One little boy looked at it, he turned blind, the rest of them ran into a house and boarded the house up. And it was there for quite a while people were running around on the outside, burning. And I thought the movie was going to end with some type of hope, but it didn't. The people came outside and they were burned up and they looked at each other and fell down and died. That's how it ended. Because the atmosphere changed. And you would think, well, I'm going to the ground, man. I got money. I'll go on the ground. I'll go to the sky or something. And the Father says, you think I won't be there? There'll be something different there. You can go to the bottom of the hell. I'm there. I created it all. And you will not escape the judgment of denying the presence of our Father, because you're going to see it again clearly as you saw it in the days of Jesus. It's not about some type of miracle for the flesh. Look, man, I hit some food. Here, can you see now? I'm blind. No. It's about the spiritual awakening of the truth that will set you free from the lie. The spiritual awakening of the sight that will cause you to see life and not death. The spiritual awakening of the fullness and not acknowledge the lack that's in the flesh. Until we come against sons of God, be the glory of the Father or be your own glory. Because one will have an expiration date. I hope you choose the Lord, our Heavenly Father.